One of the other things that I think is happening, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it seems like a lot of influencers are now like they're starting to look the same, you know, and I think that's a reliance on like the AI tools.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't really know. It's just a note that I made to myself that, like, as I'm looking at that, one of the things that I thought was scary, you know, I don't know, scary, concerning, I would put it, is that apparently OpenAI, as far as like its ethical framework for its model, right, is predicated on a sort of a U.S. centric vision of democracy. You know, and I'm like, all right, not everyone signed up to that exactly. You know, I'm not, again, you know, the way it came up to me was the language of AI governance is increasingly being framed in geopolitical terms. Like OpenAI and other organizations invoke democracy when discussing global deployment, but they do it from this U.S. perspective, right? So, in my mind, it's a risk where instead of really creating the conditions for a democratic plurality, it's more of that technocratic control. And again, that goes back to the Walter Lippmann, Bernays invisible government thing.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not that's true. And that was something else that after we talked about Bernays, you know, I took the book and I was looking at the model that he laid out and then trying to map that over to how public relations and marketing is taught, to see how much of his original ideas stayed, or did they really just kind of get left in the dustbin of history? Even though from when I look at the world, you know, like the media environment that we live in, it does seem pretty much based on what he laid out in that book. So there's something on your mind. I can see it on your face.
Well, it kind of makes sense that these AIs are coming from kind of a more American perspective, just because, you know, a lot of these tech companies are based in America, you know, actually California, Bay Area, like Silicon Valley. A lot of these companies, you know, they're American companies. So it kind of makes sense, you know, also the fact that, like, you know, since forever, at least my whole lifetime, and I'm sure your whole lifetime, and even, you know, your parents' lifetime, like, we've been propagandized to by our own government about how America's the best and American exceptionalism, and we're just, nobody else has the freedom that we have. Like, we've been told this our whole life. We've been I mean, we said the Pledge of Allegiance every single day in school. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
Funniest thing about that is I don't think at the time I consciously was like how I am now, that's weird, but I never said the Pledge of Allegiance. And I said it, but I didn't say the one. I said, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the entitled snakes of a Mary Cow, and to the Republicans for which they scam one nacho underpants with licorice and jugs of wine for owls. And I got that from...
Don't tell me The Simpsons.
Very, very, extremely, extremely close. Same writer.
Matt Groening?
Yes. What did he do before The Simpsons?
Life in Hell?
Correct.
Is that really?
It's from Life in Hell. And I read that in like third grade or whatever, and I was saying it ever since. So I stopped pledging allegiance to the flag at a fairly young age, although I was standing up and saying what I just said, you know. But now that I'm an adult, it does seem weird. It's like, you know, so anyways, back to my initial point was that fact that, yeah, it makes sense that Chat GPT and all these things are coming from this American perspective because whatever, America's the best. America.